NFTs have been making a comeback with pieces from legacy collections selling for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, as well as brand new mints being profitable for both whitelisters as well as traders on the secondary market. And while there are plenty of money-making opportunities, I believe the best is still yet to come. So it is crucial to understand how to use these tools today so you're ready for what's right around the corner. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how I make money trading NFTs with my over 4 years of experience. And the whole time while we do this, we're going to be earning OpenSea XP and other rewards, which are going to lead up to OpenSea Foundation's C token airdrop. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Crypto Gorilla video. As usual, I am not a financial advisor. I am also an OpenSea ambassador, but everything I say, my opinions, my speculation, it is all my personal opinions. So hit that subscribe button and let's jump right into today's video. So OpenSea is a decentralized marketplace, meaning you have full custody over your NFTs, your tokens, and they have no control over your assets. However, this also puts the burden of responsibility on you, meaning you're going to need a decentralized wallet. Now, there's a ton of options to choose from on OpenSea. They all pretty much function the same. They're all browser plugins. My personal favorite is Rabby, but you're free to pick whichever one you want, and it's just going to act as this little pop-up here on top of your browser. So install it, make an account. They're going to give you a seed phrase which you need to keep private. If someone gets access to your seed phrase, they have access to your funds and there's no refunds. Now, once you have a wallet, you're gonna need to fund it with some crypto. Unfortunately, at the time being, you cannot purchase crypto directly on OpenSea using a credit card. Some decentralized wallets do allow that, but for most people, you're probably gonna do it through a centralized exchange, for which I'll put a link for one in the description down below. So now that you have a wallet, your wallet is funded, let's get started looking at some NFTs. So we're gonna go on the left side here to the collections page. This is where you see all the NFTs that are trading on the market. OpenSea has the most chains on the market. They have 19, and chains like Solana and Ordinals have been hinted that they are coming in the near future. Personally, I prefer trading NFTs on ETH. So if we want, we can filter it down to ETH. You can also use more filters here. Like maybe I just want to look at art NFTs or music NFTs or PFPs, whatever floats your boat. And then depending on what I'm doing, if I'm shopping for a legacy collection or if I'm trying to trade what's hot in the market, I will swap between the top tab and the trending tab. Now, trending is where I'm going to find a lot of my daily trades. However, you do need to be careful. People are creating spoof collections, trying to pretend it's a real one to lure you in. So whenever you see this new symbol, for example, monster capsules, I can tell immediately this is a fake collection because it says new. Now, OpenSea is great at getting rid of these extremely quickly, but some are going to pass through the cracks. But two things: one, always hover here, like created 8 hours ago. This makes no sense. If we just look up monster capsules, you can see this is the real one. And I know, one, because of the volume, even though fake ones get volume, but the floor price as well as this verified badge. You always want to look for that blue verified badge on collections that are notable. Now we're going to come back to this trending page because I do want to show you how I trade brand new collections, but let's first start off by looking at a collections individual page. So I'm going to pick Bored Apes, which is a very notable collection. So here we are on the collection page. You can see all of the NFTs in this collection. You can also change the layout. Like maybe I'm shopping for a PFP. I want to look at the art. Maybe I just want to see how thin the floor is. So I'm going to toggle different views. Let's just go back to this one because I like looking at these NFTs. Now, if we look on the left side, this is where you're going to find all of your filters. So maybe I'm shopping something specific. Maybe I just want to look at different traits. So for example, the solid gold fur, which recently there was actually a 666 ETH sale, $2.3 million on a solid gold ape. Now, as I toggle on and off these filters, you'll notice on the right side here, the activity is changing. That's because it's also filtering down the activity so I can see specifically what is the activity on this trait, which is something I love. Now, maybe there's a second trait I like this crown or Caesar hat. I'm not sure what it's called. For that, I would click on the NFT. I would scroll down. I would look for the hat trait, and it's called Laurel Wreath. For that, I can just click it, and now I'm going to see all the different wreath hat traits that are available in this collection. But I also wanted solid gold. So let's turn on 2, and it turns out there's only 1 in this collection. So maybe here I go purchase it for, what is this? $2 million, which I will not be doing that. Moving on to the right side, we already saw there's your activity feed. There's also a chart, which personally I look at these a lot, especially when something's getting swept. I want to see what the price action is in that collection. And you can also filter by time. So let's go to 1 year. If you're good at TA, if you're good at reading charts, this can be really useful. Like I recently purchased an ape for 12 ETH. And while that is very expensive, I was looking at this chart and you can see from last September, like every time the floor has come down to 10 ETH, even recently, it has held really strong. So I knew this was an area of support and I felt good buying an ape at 12 because I thought worst case, it goes down like 15% or whatever it is to 10 ETH. And best case, in my opinion, it's going to 2 to 3x this cycle. So a lot of information is available on this page. Another thing you can do, let's say you want to get exposure to the Bored Ape or Yuga Labs ecosystem, but a Bored Ape currently $42,000. Like that's extremely expensive, right? For anybody, not just somebody who doesn't like NFTs, even for a trader, that's very expensive. What you can do is you can go to the About section, scroll down to the Featured Collections, and here we can see all of the related collections to Bored Apes. So here we have Mutant Apes, which are cheaper, still like $6,000. We have the Kennels, which are 1,400. We have other deeds. So it's just telling you, hey, if something happens with this collection and you want exposure, but you don't have enough for a Bored Ape, you can get into these collections too. And other people are also going to be looking at these. And it's the same on any collection you go to that has sub collections. So if we go to Pudgy Penguins, for example, like really expensive at $50,000, but maybe I still want exposure, I'm going to scroll down to Featured Collections. Here I can get a little Pudgy, I can get a Pudgy Rod. If I go to Azuki, it's going to be the same thing with beans and elementals. For Moonbirds, there's going to be mythics and oddities and so on. So let's just quickly run through the other tabs before I show you how to buy, sell, make offers and all that. We have a more detailed activity feed where you can filter by price. You could filter by traits, which I use this a lot. We also have the holders page, which this is something I look at more for new collections. If I want to see if somebody's going to dump on me, or if I want to find wallets like, hey, who's this guy who holds 219 apes? Maybe this is a wallet I should pay attention to. Now, another one that's interesting is the offers section. And this is also going to apply to new collections, but I like to go see the offers on expensive collections because there's a lot of money to be made here. A certain type of trading is putting in offers on a floor, getting it accepted, and then immediately flipping that NFT. For example, if we go to activity, I can see right here, this ape sold twice within a 1 hour period. You could see somebody got an offer accepted for $39,300 and he flipped it within an hour for $41,400, over $1,000 profits, not counting the fees. So this is one viable method of trading, but the downside here is if you put in an offer, it gets accepted and the collection keeps dipping, you're going to be stuck holding something you potentially didn't want to buy in the first place. Now, if you do want to put in an offer, there's a few ways you can do this. You can either make a collection offer. This is going to apply to the entire collection. So never bid above floor. And usually you bid around the other highest offer. So if I want to be the highest, I would come in and bid 11.3 ETH. And to do that, it's super easy. You literally just write 11.3. I can't do it because I don't have enough ETH in my wallet, but you would just click review collection offer. Your wallet would pop up. You accept, sign, and your offer is going to go through. Now, maybe I only want to make an offer on a specific ape. In that case, I would click it and then I would do make offer. So this is only going to apply to that specific NFT. Or if I filter by trait, let's say I really want a solid gold fur ape, then when I filter down, it's going to say make trait offer. So when I put an offer here, it's going to apply to all of the NFTs with that specific trait. Now, another thing you might have noticed is it's saying WETH, WETH. And yes, there is a difference between ETH and wrapped ETH, but the price is exactly the same. It is the same asset. The only difference is you're wrapping your ETH and you need that in order to make offers. Now, back in the day, you used to have to swap ETH for wrapped ETH, but luckily OpenSea added a feature where it's just going to do the swap for you. So even though in my wallet I have 2 ETH, but only 0.04 wrapped ETH, if I try to make the offer, it's actually going to go through because they're going to do the transaction for me. Now we'll talk a little bit more about offers, even accepting offers in a little bit, but I did want to go back to the collection page and show you how I play brand new collections. So there's a couple that I've been trading over the last week. No Bad Trippers is one that did really well. If we look here, multiple times they went down to 0.6 and I completely messed up this one. Okay, I dumped right before this massive pump, but why did I buy in? What's the logic of me buying in? Because I did buy 5, and there's another collection we're going to look at, and I'm going to show you why I bought into that one as well. But what I saw here was it was getting a ton of volume. So the first thing I look at is volume. The second thing I look at is the listings were decreasing. So obviously when people buy, there's going to be less listings, but it's not like there was a ton of listings that were flooding the market. Right now at 17.5%, that's really high for listings. For a collection of only 3,000 supply, there are over 500 listings, 524. That is very high. So looking at it, looking at the floor, it's actually not that bad going up. If there was a sweep that came through, it could go pretty quickly, but I try to really look for volume and not get too involved when there's a lot of listings on the floor. So I said I look at volume, I look at the number of listings, I also look at how many people are buying rares. So all of these sales, these yellow dots on the chart, these are people buying rare NFTs from that collection, which is a good sign when people are doing this, especially if it's a high frequency. So to see this, let's just close insights here. I can do highest last sale. It's going to show me the most expensive sales that recently went through. And you can go through these guys' wallets. Maybe you're going to find somebody talking about it on Twitter, which is another thing I often look for. Who are the people talking about these NFTs on Twitter? And for this specific collection, I saw a bunch of big NFT collectors celebrating it, sharing their mints or their purchases on the secondary market and saying like they're going to diamond hand it. And that's because this is an artist that people know, right? Killer Acid. A lot of people know him. They like collecting his stuff. So those are things I look for. I also want to look at who are the wallets who are buying. So I will go to the holders tab. Here you see TMA. He's a notable trader. He runs a great community that is very NFT focused. So, okay, he has 33. So he's been collecting these. And we actually track all of these collectors in my community, Guerrilla Labs. And we have a channel that is going to ping you whenever some of these collectors buy and sell NFTs. So you're going to get alerts like, hey, maybe you should be paying attention to this, or maybe you should get out because some of the big holders are dumping. Now, another collection I recently got into, and please don't just go buy these collections because I bought it. I'm probably going to have sold by the time this video is uploaded. So just look at this as me showing you why I bought these. I came in last night and purchased 12 of these. I currently only have 6 because I flipped 6 of them for 2x. So I covered my entry cost and now I am holding for free. And the reason I bought these, even though they've been out for like over a week, is because of the sweeps that started coming in. And I was seeing, again, big names on Twitter talking about these. So to me, that was a signal. And look how much the volume was increasing here with all these sweeps. So I just saw, okay, sweeps, barely any sales, bad sign. I don't like when there's not a lot of volume, but then another round of sweeps. I was part of this sweep. This is where I bought because I saw another sweep coming through. I went to bed, I listed before going to bed, and then boom, I woke up and there was a ton of sweeps that happened overnight. So I am constantly looking at charts. I am constantly looking at what the volume is over a 24-hour period or even a 1-hour period to know, hey, people are interested in this collection because at the moment, there's not that much going on with NFTs. There aren't that many collections that people are trying to buy into. So when attention is on a collection, everybody's looking for something to play. So those are the kind of signs I look for in NFTs. And if we just go to my wallet and look at my activity, you can see last night I came in, I swept 12, I listed them, and then overnight throughout the day, a bunch of them sold. Now, it's not only brand new collections that I look for these kind of signs on, I also look for it on legacy collections. Like Moonbirds is something I want to be buying into, but the floor is just extremely strong. And I really missed out. I should have had offers in. So offers are very powerful. You can catch a crazy dip and then the floor just bounce right back. For example, Moonbirds with the market crash started to go down a little bit and they went all the way down to 1.9. They're currently already back up to 2.4 ETH, which that's roughly half an ETH. So like $1,600 profits in less than half a day. Now, another collection that's been getting a ton of activity is Clonex. And look, I have a love-hate relationship with Clonex, okay? I got my shoes right here, but love-hate. But the sweeps that have been coming in on Clonex have been crazy. And you can see the floor price is currently 0.38. That's like a 4x in the last couple of weeks. So I've been racking my brain trying to figure out, why is this collection pumping? Should I be getting in on it? And a lot of people are speculating that there's a CTO that happened, like a buyout on Clonex, or something's going on. So I'm scouring Twitter looking for who's talking about this. Does anybody have any alpha? Do I know anybody who's talking about it that I can DM and get some info from them? And here we have Cosmodo de Medici, a notable person in NFTs. He collects a lot. He's uber rich. And he replies here to Deez, who asked, something's going on with Clonex and I don't get it. He said, I'll tell you after the announcement. So unfortunately, I don't personally know Cosmodo de Medici. I don't know if he's just trolling, but maybe there's something that's going on with his collection. So I'm really considering here getting a position in Clonex, but I have PTSD with this collection. Like, I do not want to get burnt again. One of my first shorts that I posted is how I lost 20 grand on Clonex. But that's really my logic when it comes to all these collections. If it's something new, I'm looking at who's trading it, like how's the volume, how many listings are coming in, are people dumping it and they're moving on to something else, or are they still interested in it? And then for legacy collections, I got a position in Pudgy Penguins. I want a position in Moonbirds. I just bought a Bored Ape. That's because I believe in these collections long term. As more people return to the market, or as more people make money on altcoins and meme coins, I do believe they're going to pick up these assets. However, there's also, like we just saw, legacy collections like Clonex where, I've lost complete faith, but there's something going on. There is information that's going to lead to a catalyst that's potentially going to full send it. And that's really what you want to be looking for. Now, let's say I'm ready to buy an NFT. How do you do that? Let's just pick on-chain all-stars because they're really cheap and I don't feel like losing $1,000 in this video. Let's say I've chosen one. There's a few different ways you can purchase. One way is just clicking buy now directly on it. It's going to pop up your wallet. You can actually here choose to use your debit or credit card. However, you're still going to need that decentralized wallet to hold your assets. And then when you want to list it to sell it, you're also going to need to have some crypto. So no matter what, you need to have a decentralized wallet. But let's go back to my Rabby here. I would click sign and I would purchase it. And then it's going to appear in my wallet. You could see owned by you. You can also go to your profile page. You're going to see all of the NFTs that you own. But before buying one, I'll just show you the other ways you can purchase. You can click this buy floor. Like if things are getting swept, you can just immediately buy the floor by clicking this button. Maybe I want to purchase multiple. I can manually select them with this little plus sign, and now they're going to be selected. Let's just clear that to turn it off. The other way, which is what I did yesterday, is just sweeping. Like I just use this little sweep thing here. It's going to tell you the total of how much you are spending on this entire collection. You can also set a max price per item that you want to purchase, if you're going crazy with the sweeper here. And then you would just click the sweep button. It's going to tell you how much you're spending. Again, it pops up your wallet. We are not going to sweep at the moment. I'm just going to clear this, but I am going to purchase one. So let's just click buy now. Right now, it tells me the total. When we sell, there's going to be more information. So let's go ahead and buy it. Our purchase is going to be pending down here. We're going to get a confirmation shortly. And voila, item purchased. If I go to my wallet, it just appeared right here. And I now have 7 on-chain all-stars. Now let's say I no longer want this NFT and I want to sell it. We have a few options. So the first option is sell now, which this is just going to dump it into the highest bid available, which you can see is less than the floor. It is $15 less than the floor. So if I click sell now, I'm going to be accepting this bid. I am losing $15 compared to if I listed it on the floor and somebody buys it. Maybe 10 people come and list after me. Let's just click cancel for now. You also have to consider the fees. So there's a 0.5% platform fee, which goes to OpenSea, but this collection has creator royalties. Sometimes you're able to, or in most cases, you're actually able to toggle these off. That's completely up to you. If you want to support an artist, a collection, you could pay royalties. Personally, I don't know the founder of this. Like I'm here to make money flipping NFTs. So I try to pay as little fees as possible. Some people are going to hear me say that and freak out. I don't care, okay? I want to make money trading NFTs, so I have to add this in to my sale price, especially if I'm trying to break even here on how much I'm losing when I sell this NFT. So if I wanted to accept the bid, I would just click retry and I would sign the transaction, but I want to show you how to list it. So there's a few options here. Either I click on it and I click list for sale. Here I can set a price. So I would look, okay, what's the floor price? It's 0.0323. Oh, I have a trade floor. I have a rare trait, which is currently listed for 0.069. So maybe I want to undercut that guy 0.068, but I feel nobody cares about that rare trait. So I would probably just list it on the floor, or maybe a little bit higher than the floor, maybe a little bit less than the floor. Again, you have to consider that you're paying creator fees. Then I just click review listing. It's going to prompt my MetaMask. I'm going to click sign. It's going to do its thing and boom, my NFT is listed. If I go to the collection, here I am on the floor. Hopefully mine gets swept up next, but I am going to be losing a little bit of money on that because of the fees. Now, let's say I want to nuke the floor. I'm like, yo, I don't want any of these NFTs. Okay, I want to sell them all. Here, I could automatically list multiple in one shot. And what you can do here is I can ladder them. So maybe I don't want to, put 7 NFTs on the floor at 0.0323 because now somebody's going to come undercut me and it's going to be a lot to sell. Maybe I want to ladder them. Maybe I want to go to bed or go to the gym or something, and I want to make money as the floor is going up, which is exactly what I did last night as this floor was going up. So here, what you can do with ladder is I'm setting a base floor price of 0.0323 and it's saying, hey, how much do you want to increase by? Let's do 0.0015. Okay. So now I click confirm and it's automatically going to set prices for all of these going up in increments of 0.0015. Now, if I had 30 NFTs, this is extremely convenient because it's really tedious to one by one type in a price. So if I did this and I clicked here, it says edit because mine are actually already listed, but you would click, it would say list, and then you would again just sign in your wallet. So just for the sake of it, I'm going to accept an offer so you can see what it's like. So I'm going to go here and click accept offer. I'm going to have to sign in my wallet. The transaction is going to go through and you won't see my balance go up in WETH again, because when it comes to placing offers and accepting offers, it is always in WETH. And voila, my balance has gone up and the NFT is no longer in my wallet. Now, OpenSea is expanding. They are no longer just NFTs. You can also purchase tokens on the platform. So they have a ton of chains. They also have Solana, which they don't yet have for NFTs, but it's soon going to be added. So let's go ahead and purchase a token so you can see what that's like. I'm going to purchase some Pengu. We're going to actually look for it. And right here, you can see I searched. There's collections, which are NFTs. So you see Pudgy Penguins, but there's also tokens. So under tokens, I'm going to click Pengu, and this one is on Solana. So if you want to do this, you are going to need to use a Solana wallet. So here I'm clicking switch to Solana. I might actually have to manually connect it. And let's just go ahead and purchase. I like Pengu. Let's purchase 1 SOL of Pengu. Here it's going to give you a quote. If I click this drop down, it's going to tell you all the fees. So there's a provider fee, there's an open, which is Rally, I believe. There's a OpenSea fee. It also tells you your slippage, which if you want to change that, it is up here. Pengu is a token with a massive market cap. It's not that volatile. So I'm going to actually set this to 1 just to lower slippage. Slippage is the amount that you're willing to give up in order to get your transaction to go through. So if it's a brand new meme coin, I set my slippage to like 30% sometimes. If it's something like Pengu, I want to pay, or I want to give up as little as possible. So I'm just going to put it at 1%. And then I'm going to go ahead and click swap. Just like in my Rabby wallet or MetaMask, whatever you're using, I have to confirm in my wallet. And voila, I swapped 1 SOL for 4,545 Pengu. Now we also have a notification bell here at the top, which is going to notify you for multiple things. It's going to tell you when you've sold an NFT, when you purchased an NFT via bid. So you can see here, I had a bid on a bad bun and it notified me, but it's also going to tell you when you have unclaimed rewards. So like I said at the beginning of this video, this whole time we are farming XP. We are earning rewards on OpenSea, and that has to do with their rewards program, which I highly suggest you sign up for. Your screen is going to look different. There's going to be a little walkthrough where they introduce some stuff, but we have a few things going on here. So let's run through it. The first thing are voyages, which these are daily quests from Monday to Friday, where you have tasks such as buy an NFT, buy a token on a specific chain or any chain, do some social tasks, or do some educational tasks like explore a token page or whatever it is. Now you can see I can claim this reward, and that's because this task was purchase any token on the Solana chain with a $10 minimum, which I just purchased Pengu, which is on Solana, for like 150 bucks. So if I go ahead and click claim reward, this is worth 100 XP. You're going to see my XP here. I might have to refresh actually, but it is currently claiming. Here we go. We got 100 XP for complete this voyage. Let's just, it actually already did. We didn't even need to refresh, but you could see I just crossed over 12,000 XP. I am actually, little flex, in the top 0.1% of XP earners, according to some random Dune dashboard that I found like a month ago. So take that with a grain of salt. But this is something I have been doing as much as possible. If we go to my activity, I have been completing every single voyage that I can, if I'm home or whatever, to try to get as much XP as possible. And there's 5 different rarities of voyages, and they all have different XP from 25 all the way up to, 250 for a rare or a epic, but legendary is even more. And legendaries come in the form of shipments. And we don't know what shipments are. For example, there was a message up here that said, hey, voyages are done for the weekend. Go touch some grass, upload a picture on Twitter with the hashtag OpenSea touch grass. So I did it. And when I got back on Monday, boom, I had a shipment that I was able to open. Unfortunately, this one was only 50 XP, but there's been shipments in the past that here, 1,415 XP, 500 XP. So this is where you really rack up a lot of XP, both doing the daily voyages as well as getting these rare shipments. Now, another thing you can do is collect treasure. Treasure are like badges that are rewarded at random, pretty much to everyone who has participated in them. So you can see I have 3. There are 6 tiers. So for this one, I only got tier 5 of 6. And just an example, this one was awarded for being in the top 1% of XP earners during the OpenSea 2 beta test. So maybe in the future, there's going to be some for like having tweeted or having a lot of volume or token swaps or whatever it is. I have no idea. Again, these are given out at random whenever the team feels like it. But I am trying to make sure I get as many as possible. Now, another thing I'm trying to do is keep my loyalty at 100%. And the way this works is you have to be loyal to OpenSea. If an NFT is available to trade on OpenSea, but also other platforms, make sure you are doing it on OpenSea to keep your loyalty score high. If it's something like Ordinals or Hyperliquid, those aren't available yet on OpenSea. So no problem, go trade it on another exchange. But for things on ETH, Abstract, AVAX, whatever it is, I am always doing it on OpenSea. Now, the other thing that you don't see on this page, but they have said they are considering, is your trading history. So if you were around in the 2021 bull run, they are going to count that. Your trading during the bear market, but also your current volume. So I'm just organically trading collections because I love trading NFTs, which is great because it's all being added onto my profile, which is going to lead to an eventual token airdrop. But I'm not only doing NFTs, I am also trading tokens, which is something that was mentioned in an article by Adam Hollander. So whenever I want to swap a coin, whenever I want to trade meme coins that are available on this platform, or if I want to buy altcoins, as I'm still DCAing into altcoins like Avalanche or whatever coin you like, I am doing it on OpenSea. So that is how I trade NFTs. That is how I use OpenSea, which in my opinion, even though I work with them, is the best exchange on the market. The team has been absolutely crushing it with features. In fact, if you have a feature request or you find a bug on the platform, right? There's going to be bugs. Go in the Discord, report it. They will answer you within a minute. They will open a ticket and they will forward it to their dev team and get it done for you, whether it's a bug or a feature that they agree they should have on the platform. They have been absolutely crushing it. So great job to the OpenSea team and everybody working on this platform. And I hope you liked it. And I hope you make money in NFTs because I feel they are about to explode. So that being said, if you have any more questions, please ask them in the description down below. I will answer you even if it's been 2 years, okay? I love YouTube. I love NFTs. I'm not going anywhere. So ask it. I will answer it If not, you could join my Discord and tag me and I'll try to answer you there. If you appreciated this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, would you kindly hit that subscribe button, smash that bell notification. Thank you for watching another Crypto Gorilla video. Peace.